welcome back to the next video. And before proceeding to the topic, I'll answer one of the most asked questions to me about why I didn't post any videos for past over 2 months. The reason I was not planning to share this, but since you guys are my viewers and you deserve to know why I delayed so much. So, about over a month and a half ago, my brother passed away, and I was not feeling like doing pretty much anything. So, that's the reason why I was absent. But anyway, now I'm getting back in the flow and I'm getting to the comments, answering the questions that I've been getting from my viewers like you and friends. So, this was one of the requested topics, and let's dive right into it. So today's topic is armament development tips. Before this video, I did make a video about armaments in detail where I explained everything basics that we need to know about armaments. So in this video, we'll primarily focus on elite and legendary armaments. And the idea is how to get stronger and win battles. Basically, how to improve your battle report and stats as we upgrade our armaments. To be more focused about that. So before moving forward, let me give you a quick recap of what we already know. I'll put the link in the description for my previous video. Do watch that, it will really benefit you. So for basics, point number 1 is we get few honing slots already available to use, and we have 3 that are locked behind star 1, 3 and 5. You need 1 fully crafted armament to first of all acquire a particular armament, and then you need 1 to upgrade to star 1 and star 2 each, and then you need 2 for star 3 and star 4 each, and then 3 for star 5. So in total, from acquiring an armament to fully upgrading it to 5-star, you need a total of 10 fully crafted armaments. And each armament requires 30 fragments to craft. And 1 armament box will give you 1 fragment. Which means to have an armament at 1 star, you need 30 boxes to acquire the armament and then 30 more to craft another one. So total of 60 boxes for 1 star. Then you need 90 more to get it to 3 stars and 150 more to get it to 5 stars. And the last point in basics is armaments of leading heroes affect your squad. Support hero armaments do not count. So there is no point putting armaments on your support hero in any given case. So those are the basics. Now let's talk about the first part, which is development. Now I'll introduce a term which is a set of armament, and 1 set will include 6 armaments that we can equip on a hero. I'm not gonna include devices at this point, I'll add that later, but 1 set is equal to 6 armaments that a hero can have. Now let's see any hero, for example this one. You can have total of 6 armaments. Now you need to know 4 things before you start developing any armament. 1 is know the type of commander that you are. For example, are you infantry focused or ranged or riders? You can be a mix of 2, but I'll recommend to not go for all 3 unless you are a spender. If you're a spender, you can basically focus on all 3 types. It's up to you depending on how much you spend or what is your primary way of playing. But for free to play and no to low and moderate spenders, I'd recommend focus on 2. It's much easier to become really strong in the particular domain that you're focused on and actually perform very well on field and help your team out. Second thing on the same note is know your role in your team. For example, you can be a garrison or a rally lead, or you mainly do field fights, but I would not recommend you to do garrison or rally unless you are like a spender or you're the top, really the max player in your alliance. I'll tell you why that thing is important as we talk about the development and honing attributes. Third thing is work on awakening the heroes based on the first 2 points. So if you are the primary garrison or rally leader, you can focus on those heroes to awaken them, whichever troop type you focused on. And then you can start developing your armaments to enhance that hero. which is basically the purpose of armaments, is to improve the abilities and effectiveness or skills of a particular hero. So there you go. Those four things will really help you to narrow down which direction you should go. Now, the first point in development of armaments is focus on one armament set for one squad at a time and get all the 6 armaments of that hero to 5-star before moving on to the second set. The reason being, one great squad is always better than 3 mediocre ones. If you really want to dig deeper, one 5-star armament is stronger than 2 3-star armaments. Both of them will require 10 fully crafted armaments. And same goes for device. Most of the devices are pay to get, but many elite ones are available for free from many different events. And some of these legendary devices are available for free from different events based on the points you get or the rank you get. The same development logic applies on them. Get them to 1-star, 3-star and 5-star before moving on to the next one. Now, another thing that I usually recommend, do not start honing an armament until it is at least 1-star. I'll tell you the reason why. Let's quickly go to my armament shop and you can see that at 1-star you'll unlock one particular honing attribute and it is going to be randomly generated for you. So if you have, I think I do have one armament over here, so this one, if I want to rank it up, you can do this cycle n number of times until you get your preferred elite hone at least. So that way you are saving your chips to get at least one of the honing attribute slot filled with your choice of hone. Now I kind of don't want to do this right now because I have my reasons. Make sure you don't accidentally dismantle it, you just want to reset them. Now the reason being, if you start honing, say if I used honing chips on any of these ones, those honing chips will be wasted when I do a reset because then it will do the reset of both the armaments and those hone attributes that I got will be lost. So just something to keep in mind. Now since we are talking about hone attributes, let's move on to the part 2 of this video, which is honing tips. The first thing that I would like to mention over here, which I thought everybody knew, but with the certain questions that I got, seems is good to mention. Only the armament hone attributes of the garrison captain or the person who launched the rally come into effect. If you are joining a particular garrison, like filling it up or filling up the rally, whatever hone attributes you have on the particular squad that you are filling it with, they don't come into play. So if you are not the lead, these hone attributes will only block this particular slot. It's not gonna help you on field at all. Say for example, yeah, this is a good one. So this is a leader type armament on Bianca and this is a red hone for riders. If I make a squad of infantry with Bianca as lead and say Miyamoto or any other infantry type hero in support, this particular hone attribute is not going to affect anything in the squad. If whatever riders I have, if it is 0, this will be 0 basically. So even if it is a red hone, it can be useless if it is an incorrect hone on that particular hero. A lot of times I've seen that people get a legendary hone that is in essence useless to them, but they just keep it just because they finally got one. It actually is hurting you more than it's helping you. The reason being, it is increasing your armament's might, it is increasing your hero might who is wearing that armament, but it is not affecting your stats of the hero to actually perform well on the field. You are though getting matching based on your hero and armament might. So you're getting a tough match because of a particular hone which you're not using. This is where I say that a common or a green hone which is used by your squad is better than a legendary or a red hone which is not coming into effect. So keep that thing in mind. Now, there are certain tips for low to no spenders, which is basically going to help you perform well on the field as well. This does not apply to spenders who can spend on armaments and get all legendaries. So if you are a low to no spender, focus on all elite armaments in your set and get them to 5-star. At this point, I would say even if you get a legendary armament from, say, armament search or anything, do not upgrade them until you have at least 5 of same armament kind, so you can upgrade it to at least 3-star, because a 5-star elite with 4 hone attribute slots is better than a 0-star or sometime even 1-star legendary armament, depends on the hone attribute. Now there are some of the matchmaking tips. These are particularly optional. I recommend it in my team. I follow them myself. Just totally up to you if you want to follow it. One would be all crafted armament might count in matchmaking, even if they are not being equipped on any hero, just lying in the bag. So that's one. Second thing would be, if you don't use any armament during event fights, there is no point keeping them. This includes the gathering or zombie hunting armaments especially. You will get a tougher match based on those armament mites as well. So you basically are putting added strain on yourself to perform well on field and your team by having those armaments that actually are not helping you in that battle. Better you can dismantle them and get metal shards to get some useful stuff from the armament shop. Now if I want to summarize this whole video in few points, those will be these 3 points that will particularly give you a holistic view of what is the underlying thought process. First would be, all heroes and all squads do not need armaments. Like your gathering and zombie hunting squads, they don't need armaments. You will collect fewer XP points to upgrade your hero, that is fine, compared to getting a tougher match and losing the event or burning a lot of resources for a particular match which you could have avoided. Second thing is, focus on one, at max 2 squads and make them really strong. Focus on 1 to 2 sets at max, don't go for more. Your squad 3, 4 and 5 will develop over time. You don't have to rush it. As I said before, 1 really strong squad is better than 3 mediocre ones. You all have seen that in field, how that works. You want to be that guy who can kill 3 squads with your 1. Now the third point, which is I would say the most important point out of all this, is having 5 squads available to deploy does not mean you have to deploy 5 squads. Underdeveloped squads will only feed points to your opponent. That will only reduce your effectiveness to continue battle on the field, because your hospital is filled and you don't have troops left to fill your first 2 squads. Those are really strong ones, but then you don't have any squad left. It is better to take your 2 really strong squads out multiple times, just refresh and go help your team out, because it's a group fight. Those will be some of the things I would like to say about armament development, and particularly becoming more effective on field and having better battle reports and stuff. So with this, I think I've covered everything, and if you have any questions or doubts, you can obviously ask me in comment section. I'm trying to get to all of the comments, but you can always ask me in game as well. I'm currently in Alliance NFG of region 313. Just ping me, and mostly I get to my messages within a day and a half max. So with that, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys hopefully very soon.